Hopefully you can hear me now. Oh dear, that's a terrible start. Just like Aston Villa. Yeah. Oh wow. Absolutely. Start that one all again. That is crazy. Basically, just like Aston Villa, we're going to shit. And yeah, that's not good. That's not ideal. So let's try this again. Welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. We're here live and direct for Crunch Talk, where we do not fluff it up. We do not undercoat things. We don't put our tinted claret and blue glasses on. We try and talk what we see, how we feel, and we go along with that. Please make sure you have liked and subscribed. I'm sorry for the start of that on mute. Yeah, for some reason my microphone was on mute. Just a bit like Aston Villa in front of goal, absolutely mute, no chance of us scoring. And yeah, there's a lot of concerns, things we're going to talk about today, and I'll go through those topics again. Unai Emery, his comments after the game. It's absolutely crazy what he's saying. Absolutely crazy. It's becoming a bit like Groundhog Day. He's repeating the same robotic comments week after week. He's got these key buzzwords that I've noticed now, and quite frankly, it's getting a little bit tiring and boring. Number two, Vidagany's coming under the sword today. He's going to be part of the Crunch Talk, and the reason why is this guy is becoming a little bit like Dr. Tony Gia vibes. I thought Villa were going forwards. Well, Vidagany's now becoming what I would say what Dr. Tony was doing, getting drawn into fan comments, getting drawn into these interactions. And what he waffled on social media yesterday, I don't know if you've seen it, are absolutely, again, just bullshit, basically, is the only way I can put it. He's trying to tell Villa fans about how much he believes in Unai and the project, and I'll show you all of that. We're going to be discussing Donyell Malen, justice for Malen. And imagine having the preseason that he had. Imagine being left in the sidelines from January to May, being basically told you're a very good impact sub, and still not getting minutes. I said this on my watch along. I'm going to say it again today. If you're Donyell Malen, you need to be getting your agent on the blower and finding your new club. It's absolutely disgusting, the treatment that Donyell Malen's having. I'm not here for it. I don't like it. And that also needs to be addressed. And then Unai Emery's got his favourites. That's really clear. As much as we love Morgan Rogers, what has this guy got to do to be subbed off? Interesting as well. You're still seeing it familiar with John McGinn, the way that he's scared to take the captain off and play him in different positions. There's a lot to discuss in this Crunch Talk tonight, and I am going to start again on those above, not the players. I'm going to start on those above, which is Unai and Vidagany. And I think someone's put it here. Big up to everyone in the chat. Great to see you all in here. Ant Walsh has said it. Vidagany is Emery's apologist. It's becoming embarrassing. Look, everyone used to think it was really cool when Dr. Tony Gia used to, come into the chat and interact with fans and give us cryptic clues about transfers. And then when you step back and realize how tin pot that was, and actually that guy was a bit of a fraud, Vidagany's starting to do the same. Fans are actually actively tweeting him to get his opinion, and he's biting on a cherry. I know we talk about it's great to have communication from the club, but no offense, I don't want to hear from Emery's apologist. I don't want to hear from Vidagany. He's not having anything to do with the day-to-day running of what goes on the pitch. He's all about off the pitch. On the pitch, I don't need to hear him. So there we go. But yeah, so let's go to Vidagany's comments then. I'm going to start on him, then Unai Emery. Big up to Michael, who says that I think Emery's overcoaching the players. Are afraid to get it wrong, getting dropped in a World Cup. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Big up to Luke, Stephen, Villa Dave in the house, 1874. Andy Max here as well. He's setting his comments with nonsensical agree. Patrick Reed as well. Duncan's in the house, regular on the channel. Says Elliot Lindelof do not need bedding in. Exactly. Max and Malen should have been playing regular months ago. Emery's team selects a joke. Can't drop his precious Rogers cash. Facts. But yeah, big up to everyone in here. And who was the first to alert me? Big up to Gene Taylor to let me know that I started this on mute, which is not ideal, is it? This is these sort of comments as well. I'm getting this a lot from people. Let's see where we are after 10 games. Chill out. Well, we're 4 games in. Why are we waiting to 14 games? Why do we need to see where we're 14 games in? 4 games in. I'll say the maths again. 0 goals scored, -4 goal different, 2 points from a possible 12. And if you really want to look at the quality of opposition, Newcastle, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Everton, on paper, they're not really a strong side. The strongest side is probably Newcastle. Yes, Crystal Palace is this bogey team, but we should be beating them. When you really go to the gist of on paper, 2 points from possible 12 out of those 4 fixtures is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And what people aren't realising is that we genuinely have harder fixtures to come. We have harder fixtures to come. When those first fixtures came out, those first 12 games, people were talking about getting 10 points from a possible 12. Oh, great start. Great start on the paper. We've got really nice fixtures. And then we've got Sunderland. People were going, we could be on 12 out of 15 points, on 2 out of 12. Sunderland away. I'm absolutely shitting myself about it. But what's probably more is, and I don't know how everyone else feels, is I'm feeling really apathetic. Watching Villa is actually becoming boring. Watching Villa is actually boring right now. And the reason why this season has worried me, and I've said this over and over again in pre-season, Aston Villa were in a position where we were so close, but so far. We're so close to being consistently in that top 4, 5, 6 bracket. We're consistently looking like we're getting closer to winning a trophy. And then we also feel so far away. And boy, you better know that Europa League now is going to be one of the most important competitions that Unai Emery has ever entered in his life. This for me is the biggest trial for Unai Emery now. But yeah, let's go to this then. Let's go to the Vidagany, the puppet, the apologist. I like whoever said that because it does feel like that. It's crazy, and people are still trying to take positives away from yesterday. Oh, clean sheets. Yes, we had a clean sheet. Yes, Emi Martinez did play well. But do you know what? Probably the most striking thing is yesterday. When I went on Never a Foul, do you know what someone turned around and said to me? They said it's 2025 and Aston Villa are playing Emi Buendia in a Premier League game. Like that actually rattled me a little bit. I thought, fucking hell, yeah, you're not far off. You're not far off. You're not far off. So first of all, DV, we're going to call him DV. A better team would have beaten by 3 or 4 goals. Yeah, if Michael Keane actually knew how to head a ball yesterday, he would have cooked us. I know, yeah. This Europa League must win it to keep his job, correct. Gary said, be careful what we wish for. Yes, we'll tell mid-table on Europa win somehow, please. Like the fact the fact that we're asking for mid-table just proves my point. We've completely dropped our standards. I thought we were a team that were looking to consistently qualify for Europe through the Premier League table each season. The fact now we're praying for a mid-table finish shows me exactly how far we've come. Beto saved us, yeah, by not hitting them back the one. And we had to thank Martinez for says otherwise we lost comfy. Correct. And that's the thing. The club are like holding on to that PR spin as well with Emi. I hope Emery plays a strong team versus Brentford in the Cup. We need to get some kind of positive vibes leading to the next Premiership game. The Cup game needs to be taken seriously. Kevin, great point. The question is, do you believe that he will? Surely he beds in at least 4 new signings. Surely Donyell Malen, Gassons, Sancho, Harvey Elliott, all play, all feature. Or have we just created ourselves another problem here where we've got too many attackers now and we don't know how to balance it out? But yeah, here we go then. DV's comments. So this is what he tweeted himself. I'm going to show you his own one first and then what he responded to a fan. So this is what DV said yesterday. And by the way, people, can you keep smashing that like button? Can we run the likes up to 30 likes straight away, please? Let's run it up for me. That would be greatly appreciated. And do share it about as well. So this is what DV said. And anyone who's still there going, who's DV? Like who is this guy that people keep referring to? And that's fine if you're not sure who he is. But basically, he's what we call a football executive, a director of football operations, that sort of role. One of those weirdly titled roles, director of football operations, whatever you want to make that, a fancy title. But there we go. He put a point that doesn't shine. Yes, we need goals. Of course they will come. Well, will they? But a point that strengthens us and our spirit. We're working well and will soon improve. The first stone of a magnificent construction never attracts the attention of spectators, but is very necessary. It's not just about admiring the final result. I'm happy to see Emi performing at such a high level, and even more so to see our fans singing his song. Thanks to the fans who travelled, your energy and generosity helped us enormously today. In Unai's and the players, I believe, up the Villa. I've never heard so much Cobb's ball bollocks crap out of my life. What are you doing? And you got fans commenting on this guy's post, going, "Oh, I love you. Oh, this is so great and refreshing to see. Oh, yes, thank you for these strong words." What do you think this guy's going to do in terms of improving what we do on the pitch? What is this guy actually going to do in terms of actually fixing it now? He's literally talking about belief and energy, very much like Unai. But it's like they all speaking out the same book. A point that doesn't shine, yes, we need goals. Of course, they will come. And I'm going to address this point a little bit later on the show. But I remember doing a show 2 months ago on Villa's lack of goals last season and my worry for this season. And I'm going to prove that point again. The first stone of a magnificent construction never attracts the attention of the spectators. That is the line that got me. And I want to highlight this line here. The first stone of a magnificent construction never attracts the attention of spectators. Guys, this guy is talking like this is Emery's first season. Talking like it's Unai Emery's first season. Am I reading that right? The first stone of a magnificent construction never attracts the attention of spectators. Newsflash, DV. Emery's been there for over 2 seasons now. The first stone. How long? How long are we giving him? How long are we giving him? This is the line that rattled me. The first stone of a magnificent construction never attracts the attention of spectators. It's bollocks. It's just making excuses, and it's making fans go, "Do you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe we are building." Well, how long is Emery getting to build? It's just sticky tape PR. Exactly that. Exactly that, Ant. It's just wrong. And Doug said a bit over top language. For me, it's just crap. That's the line that bothered me. And it's not just about admiring the final result. I'm trying to work out what on earth this analogy is. You're trying to tell me we're still in the building phase. You're trying to tell me that we're still in the building phase. Surely we're not in the building phase. Surely that can't be right. Surely 2 seasons of his tenure, we are not in a bloody building phase. I'm not having it. I'm sorry, but I'm not having it. It's absolutely crap. And anyone who agrees with this, I want to know why. Why do you think Villa are in a building state? Why do you think we're only putting down the first stone of a magnificent construction? And I get this, Michael. It's the equivalent to Rome wasn't built in a day. So how long is Emery getting them? And I think Gary is right. Emery's problem is he started too well because we're either in a phase, and this is where we're getting confused as a football club, because I'm hearing that we're in the phase of, as Unai said last season, and I've got the quotes, as Unai said last season, we are looking to qualify for Europe and compete to win trophies. So that's what he was saying last season. That's what he was saying last season. So why is it now the narrative is, no, hold on, we're not actually at the competing and qualifying. We're going to reword it, and we're actually going to tell the fans that we are now trying to build again. It doesn't make sense to me. We're either in the phase of qualifying for trophies. Sorry, we're either in the phase of trying to qualify for Europe each season and competing for trophies, which is where I thought the standards were, and exactly what I want to be doing as a football club. Or are we at this crappy building phase because we've had a rocky start again and we're trying to tell the fans, hey, wait, we're building now. We're building. Change your expectations quick because it's not gone quite right. I see it. And yeah, it's this. And I think this is like, if you want to have a look at the state of the fan base of where we're at, this is where we're at. Dave said you've done an amazing job this summer under the circumstances of a brilliant team. So we're lauding that. Fair. Yeah, we've operated a tough market. But then Bossy is absolutely, this is where I am. Bossy 1982. Damain, always love your optimism, but there's also room for constructive criticism. Unai isn't taking advantage of our attacking talent. We're too deep, too slow, passive, deliberate. We can't let a side like Everton take 20 shots. His tactical mentality has to change. Facts. 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 Well said, Damian. The fans are with you. Unai and the team. it will all is the season a write-off already? Yeah, people are split. People are split, and it's really clear that they are not happy, and some people are going to back, and that's where we are as a fan base. But then it got me even more concerned about how he replied to this. I don't like this personally. I don't like this. This is Dr. Tony vibes. This is Dr. Tony vibes, and I'm going to show you why in a second. But let me see what some of the chat are saying about this. Emery's problem is he started too well. Facts. Emery hasn't built a team. It's the same player to start with. Correct. Only 2 Unai Emery signings played yesterday in the starting lineup. And even when he subbed off Yuri Tillemans for Evan Gesson, it was still only 2 Unai Emery subs until he brought on 2 Unai Emery signings until he brought on Elliot. Yeah, it does feel like we're building Poundland. Even the United man's got the final, yeah, scary. From UCL quarterfinals to second bottom of the league, no goals, 2 points ain't good enough. That's the expectations. Emery needs to get his team. How many in the 11 signings? 2, exactly, Luke. Seeing as we're always fighting the league rules, PSR, SCR, VR, etc., we're never given the chance to restart building. So I get that. Again, Michael, again, I always respect that you come here with a good open mind, and I think those points there, PSR, SCR, yeah, VAR, every team is fighting VAR. Fighting the league rules, I get it. I think I'm with you on that. I'm with you on the fact that Villa have the money to spend, but we can't spend it. And I'm with you on that. But I'm also being told that Unai Emery is this guy who can work with any tools at his disposal. And right now, the style of play, the stubbornness, and the disconnection that is starting to happen with the fans. And this is where I feel like this is where I'm passionate about the fans. Villa are raising the prices because we need to create more revenue to help us, etc. And they're asking a lot of everyday fans to put their hands in their pockets and spend and buy the merch and do this. And fans are doing their best to help the club. But when you have 0 goals in 4 games, when you are allowing Everton to, have 20 shots on your goal, when you are seeing new signings still not get minutes, you're going to disconnect with the fans. And if this continues, fans are going to stop traveling to games and watch Villa Park get emptier and emptier if these continue. I'll ask you guys right now. If I said to you, ticket available, £65, 70 quid of your money to go watch Villa's next home game, are you taking it? Are you going? Are you outlaying that money to go watch Aston Villa in our next home game, which is Bologna in the Europa League? Yeah. If you want to go even further to a Premier League game, are you going to pay £65 right now, top into 70? That's just for your ticket, by the way, to go watch Aston Villa versus Fulham. Of course, the diehards will say yes, no matter what. Season ticket holders don't have a choice. But if I'm offering you, someone who's never had a ticket, I'm saying £65, £70 your money to go watch Villa versus Fulham right now, are you doing it? And that's where your answer knows. And that's where you know where the Villa is. Last season, I think we all would have. Season before, I think we all would have. How it's going this year? It's a lot of money to outlay for an everyday person to go watch 0 goals. Exactly, hasn't built a team. Build and begin, play on the right attack. Exactly. They move the goalpost downwards and then telling us everything is all right. Exactly. When I haven't forgotten, and that's the thing, Anne. I won't forget. I won't forget what was coming out of Unai's mouth. And luckily, I've done streams where I can go back and find it and get the quotes and those screenshots on the screen. Where Unai Emery has said, "We're looking to qualify for Europe and compete for trophies every season." Not this. There was no talk of building last year. I'm telling you now, there was no talk of we're trying to build. We're laying the foundations to build. There was no talk of that whatsoever last season. None of that bollocks at all. So we are moving the goalposts. Big up to Meeks said, don't forget to like the stream, guys. Yeah, run it up, guys. We've got over 80 of you in here. Let's get up to 40, 50 likes as soon as possible, please. We started so well because no one's seen us coming. Now, as I started thinking twice about us, and we haven't really grown. That's as you would expect. Not this team. So Smith didn't sign Malen, Gesson, Matson. Yeah. Emery said a lot of players just choose to play Gerrard. Again, Watkins, Mings, and Dean all seem to be mainstay, which is crazy. Slow and steady doesn't win the race. Yeah. Emery needs to be brave. So on the side, exactly. I'm holding that sign this season. Be brave. As I said, we have moved house, people. For those of you who are wondering where I've been, I was away in Egypt on a lovely family holiday with the family, and then we've moved house. I'm currently in my room, what we're setting up with Heidi and I's room, and we're going to make this a bit of a nice little setup. So we're going to start seeing more signs, pictures, maybe some fancy lights, a little bit more of a professional setup. So there we go. Yeah, that's where we're going. So yeah, but this is the first sign. Be brave. It's a Bible quote from Jeremiah, and it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Well, let's hope Villa and Unai Emery have a good future. I'm not Unai out, but only because I don't think we can get Glasner. I personally don't think he can. I personally don't think he can right the ship. Look, I just want to know. If it continues, there is someone better out. There's always someone better out there. I'll stand firm on this. People say there's no one better than Unai Emery. There always will be. You can always find someone better if we're in a relegation battle. If we're in the relegation zone, there is someone better than Unai Emery. Trust me. Villa have not scored a goal on 10.3 per match. Serious now. It's really serious. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. These crunch talks are not just the sake of money. It's proper crunch talk. This is squeaky bum time. We can't spend money because of our bad transfer business. Emery definitely does have questions. Yeah, let me go to the would people take Nuno? I've seen his name fly about. No, but only because I don't have a passport. Forget PSI. We stopped playing to play player strength. We've tried to play systems that suit nobody and pitch. Correct. Big up, Josh. You keep on playing the red cartel. How about your club makes more revenue to spend more money? Well, we're trying. We're trying. We're trying. They're ripping the fans off, and we're expanding, but we're trying. But yeah. Honestly, we're going to go on to Donyell Malen in a bit. Let me get the next DV thing that rattled me. Well, let me get the next DV thing that rattled me. We need a manager that plays to the players' strengths instead of trying to jam them into a system that doesn't work in the first damn place, aka John McGinn, right wing. The most ludicrous thing that happened yesterday was John McGinn going from when Villa had the ball, Bogard dropped into right back, McGinn dropped into the CDM role where Bogard was playing out of possession, and McGinn and Matty Cash was playing right wing. It was a tactical mess in the first half. He thought he was being clever. Oh, let's invert Bogard into them. McGinn goes central, and Matty Cash right winger. You've got Malen, Sancho, Elliott, Gesson on the bench, and we've got fucking Matty Cash from right wing. That's how bad it was yesterday. Who that's been better before that makes you think we'll get something better now? Genuine question. So the evolution of football suggests to me that there is always someone better to come into a ship that's broken. So I think, of course, we've seen it from Bruce to Dean Smith. If you look at Villa trajectory, Steve Bruce taking us broken, Dean Smith comes in, it gets better. Smith took us as far as he could, was an exceptional Villa manager in the Championship, did his best in the Premier League. I'll always be very positive about Dean Smith, but I think he found his ceiling. Steven Gerrard came in, an anomaly of a signing. We went on a name, we went on a reputation, we went under the ownership that put a trust in someone like him. He did a remarkable job at Rangers, came to England, didn't work out. Always interested to see if Gerrard will come back to England and have another go in the Premier League. Gerrard, it didn't work out. That was an anomaly in our thing. We go to Unai, we upgrade. When the ship is broken, Villa always find the next best. Villa always find someone better. I believe in that. We've always, when the ship is broken and it's sinking, we've always found something better. Right now, the ship is wobbling. If this continues, this vein of form, the lack of goals, the depends how we get on the Europa League. We can't think there's someone going to be better. Are we going to be okay sitting in the relegation zone in a month or 2 months' time? Even in a month's time, come the end of October, are we going to be okay sat in the relegation zone and going, do you know what? There might be someone better. There's not someone better. It's Unai. Yeah. I personally, Michael, believe that when that ship is broken, then you can get better. And my main point on this, actually, Michael, because I like the questions you ask. I think you do it in a really calm manner as well. You're not aggressive in how you question, which is what I really appreciate, Michael. If players don't believe in Unai anymore, that's when the ship's seriously broken. There's cracks. There was cracks in the transfer window. I think they've tried to glue it. If the players have lost all disdain and all thought and all hope with Unai, that's when I know that ship is broken. And that's when you do need to ship in someone else. Because unfortunately you can't sack all the players. And that's the thing. I personally, I'm not going to comment on Nuno. I'm not a big Nuno lover. I'm personally, I know a lot of people are. I'm not a massive Nuno lover. I think it was harsh what happened to him at Forest. But I also think that if he played to Villa's strengths with players, I think Nuno would do a brilliant job. But yeah, I'm not a big Nuno lover. I like the ball. Yeah, I like yeah, this is what was worrying. The public comments over Ramsey's transfer senior players are worrying. I think that Emi Martinez's situation was worrying, how that got out of hand and got messy. I think that again, you're hearing disdain about Ollie Watkins, where is he at? Morgan Rogers, where are they at? Do they want moves? Do they not? There is this uncertainty, I guess. It's how well we manage it. Stephen said, what happens if we get dumped out the cut and then lose to Sunderland? Then we have to really, really say, do you believe we can turn this around? Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the thing. We've never seen the players be so vocal until this season. I feel like, and I feel like there is this anger at the club. I feel that. I feel that. People are giving Unai 10 games. I honestly, let's see what we do against Brentford in the cup. Right, this is where then. Let me go to DV. I was coming to this. So Carvin says, any thoughts, DV 1874? Us fans can't believe what we're watching at the moment. 10 shots on target at 4 games won't win you matches. Great comment. It's a great comment. It's a great comment, and I love that he went to that sort of level. I like that he went straight in with the shot. Okay. Dr. Tony, but this is worrying that he nibbled on it and replied. Personally, I would have kept quiet and ignored that. The fact that people know this guy's going to reply is Dr. Tony vibes. And if anyone doesn't know what I'm on about Dr. Tony vibes, Dr. Tony basically wanted to respond to every single person on Twitter who tweeted him because he thought it was good. So he put to the fan who said 10 shots in 4 games, which again is a great stat to remind us. 10 shots on target in 4 games. Let me see if I can fit it all in one picture. There we go. My thoughts is that I'm genuinely optimistic. Okay. Based on the facts that we have a proven very good squad and a proven great manager, and they're working hard and together. In the interim, my humble suggestion is ask, understanding mood are not high, to help the boys with support and memory of what they did in 3 amazing years. Much better years than the previous 15-20. That sent my head west as well. I'm going to highlight it. He's now telling us, okay, he is now telling us in a nice way, he's telling us be grateful for what we've got because the last 15-20 years have been crap and we shouldn't be ever questioning or challenging what's going on. That's me not speaking in his fluffy way. That's me just telling you straight. He's saying, understanding mood not high, to help the boys with support. So he wants us to get behind them. And memory of what they did in 3 amazing years. Much better than the previous 15-20. DV's telling us, be grateful for the last 3 years you've given you because you've had 15-20 years of shit. So we've got money in the bank. Emery's got money in the bank. Outrageous. How can we get behind the boys when we're not scoring a goal? How can we when we're only producing 10 shots on target in 4 games? Now tell me, DV, tell me how we get behind them. So that's the first point. That rattled me. And I want to know what you guys in the chat, Jane, feel. Like, honestly, if you think that's okay for him to say, like, this is your show just as much as mine. Tell me about that line, genuinely, telling us that much better than the previous 15-20. It's the way he's saying it as well. I know you're limited to characters. Well, he's not actually because he's got a blue tick, but you know what I'm saying. If you don't want to give them credit, I respect. If someone wants to push us with negativity, it is okay. You can also do it, but it is useless. Again, very interesting comments from DV. Very interesting comments from DV. And this is what, apparent negative fans are the reason why players and Unai are making these mistakes. Negative fans are the reason why Unai Emery is keeping his new signers on the bench. Negative fans are the reason why we haven't scored a goal. Negative fans are why we're on 2 points out of possible 12, -4. If you don't want to give him credit, I respect. If someone wants to push us with negativity, it is okay. You can do it, but it is useless. No, we're just holding you to the standards, DV, of what you told us last season, which is we're going to qualify for Europe and compete for trophies. If you told me we were going to sit in a relegation zone last season or mid-table, then I wouldn't be doing these sort of shows. I'd be accepting it. That's what we were told. Next part. So we've been told how to support the club, in my opinion. If you want to help, as you, the fans, are the real owners of the Villa and protectors of the club, and we know you deserve more. But let me remind you that in football, there is good times and not good times, and everyone can choose one way or another. I believe in Unai and my team. Yes, of course, you're going to believe in Unai and your team. I think it's a very interesting public statement. For me, it's a really interesting public statement. I actually believe he's trying to tell us how to support the team. He's telling us that we can be negative if we want, but as soon as he said this line, but it is useless, it cancels out him saying this part. If someone wants to push the negative, it's okay, he can do it. I just think of that stinks of what's happening at Villa right now. Too many outspoken voices, too many people having a say, too many people, players, DV, Monchi, speaking, and not enough action. Too much talk. Too much talk, not enough action. I don't want to hear talk anymore. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap, DV. Talk is cheap. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to go on to Unai next about his talk. Because talk is cheap, DV. Yeah, exactly that, Ashley. Let the results do the talking, and the results are 2 points from 12. That's the only talking I need. Yeah, exactly. I don't think they have the ball. No, they've all got their little happy fan club. Their pampered babies. There is a protection in the club. Sentiment doesn't work for results. You get the king's ransom for your job. They know it's crap, and desperation has to look at past it's crumbling. You can feel it. Josh, do you and Up the Villa Luke agree? Is he on the same wavelength? Is he, or is he different? The thing is, I get on with Luke off air, on air. And we've had a few talks on the show. I'm willing to get him on and have a good debate with him again if he thinks differently. I'm not one for patience right now, especially with the climate. No team is too big to go down. And I just think that there is alarm bells. Really do. The club have given the players an excuse. PSL comments true. Villa Dave, that's actually true. We need a forward-thinking manager. Uno's clears and the rain reminds me of Rami Gard. Ooh, bit brutal that one. Lack of intensity and predictability is our attacking approach are the two biggest issues from my perspective. I'm more concerned the club won't sack Emery for a good while, even when bottom 2 months so stale. Yeah, there is a There is a protection on him. I do think that. There is that. So yeah, no, but yeah, Luke is a legend. We get on very well off air, on air. I quite enjoy doing shows with him. I like asking him the hard questions. Usually he asks the questions. I like asking him the hard questions, having a debate with him. We definitely differ on things like Matty Cash. We definitely differ, and I think we agree on some stuff as well. So yeah, I will definitely see if I can get Luke to come on again. So do enjoy my show with him. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, so let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. Let's go with Unai. Let's go with Unai. Let's go with Unai. All right. I've got to go to his interview. I've now actually found Unai Emery bingo. There's a certain thing that Unai says every interview. It's about the collectiveness. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Apologies, guys. Here it is. Okay, so Unai yesterday said the following. He said this. He said this. What's this? Luke and Josh are very different. Josh is heart and sleeve kind of guy. Luke is a lot calmer. No disrespect. No, I know it's not disrespect. Yeah, I think I'm very passionate. And do you know what? I sort of I don't really care. Like if people don't like what I say, that's fine. It's just think it's good to be positive in life. Like there are, my day-to-day life I'm very positive about. I love my life. I love my family. I love what I'm trying to build as a human. I'm very positive about the outlook of life. I'm not someone who gets worried about, those sort of things and negative and I hate my life. You won't hear that. But when it is and do you know what? I think the when it comes to football, I'm very different because certainly now I think that someone said about footballers being pampered babies. It's very much an industry where I don't know, it's a crazy industry, and I've just realised that sometimes you gotta see through the PR bullshit. You got to see through the PR bullshit. And this is bullshit from Unai Emery right here, right now. I'm not gonna lie. Again, someone try and justify this for me, especially the Emery inners. Especially the Emery inners. Michael said, Luke was the first ever YouTube channel to subscribe to, and his recommendation was the second. Love that, Michael. You're a legend, my friend. Winter is coming. Yeah, warm up. It's going to be a cold one watching Villa as well. Right. Unai says this. I'll come to the comments in a second. Here we go. So, Unai Emery, I'm really happy because we played competing like we planned. And this is the way to recover our confidence again. Our structure with the players we added last week as well, understanding tactically and playing with our idea as well with our demands. So what you're telling me, Unai, is you're happy because we didn't concede. Because you said this at Brentford away. You said this at Brentford away. And I've now realised that basically Unai is all about not conceding. He's all about holding the fort. And if he doesn't concede, he feels like he's in the game. Our structure of the players we added last week as well. Well, we didn't really see any of those new players, so that's a load of crap. And understanding tactically and playing with our idea as well with our demands. So you're happy with how they've tactically played. This is why it's on the manager. This is why these comments are on the manager, people. Because he's actually saying he's happy with what went down yesterday. Unai after match interviews are as repetitive as our results, same every week. Yeah, I'm going to show you the next repetitive thing. Yeah, I agree, Duncan. The Prem is stronger this season. Aren't every manager's interviews repetitive after 2 years, win or lose? No, I'd say there's a bit more of like reality with some managers. Mikel Arteta's off his head and he's absolutely nuts and he spills rubbish. People like Pep as well, I find you get variation on what he says. Eddie Howe, again, a good, honest manager. He'll call it out when it's crap and he'll say it's when it's good. Unai just seems to not have anyone want to bash him tactically. Do you know what? I actually think the guy doesn't like anyone to ever question him tactically because of the hours he puts in. The fact of seeing people saying I take 12th now the way we're playing is scary. 12th is so backwards, it hurts. So there we go. Big up Alan Formula, big up VJ in the house as well. But yeah. When a manager starts trying weird tactics to get into games and sticks to his favourite players, not a good sign. He looks lost, yeah. Too much tactics talk, not enough design grit talk. There we go. Exactly. Tactics. 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 What? Understanding tactically and playing with our idea. What is your idea? Clearly, your idea is to not score. Clearly, your idea is to play for a 0-0. So there's that one point. Let me show you the next, the repetitive Unai Emery comment. This is the one that grinds me. That bullshit about playing safe in the first half and then hoping for goal in the second half. Yeah, it's square pegs, round holes. Emery blagged the point because the Everton strikers can't hit the target. Yeah. Right, next one then. So he goes on to say this, and this is the one that he says every week. I'll show you the buzzwords. He says this every week, and I know people say, "Well, isn't that what managers are meant to do? Say the same thing." No, call it how it is. I respect Unai Emery so much more. Right now, he comes out and goes, "It's dog shit right now. It's not good. Things need to change. Tactically, I'm tinkering still. I'm sorry, but I will get it right." Players, they've had a bit of a weird summer, but I expect them to play with heart and desire. I'm not seeing that from everyone. Quality, yeah, we're making a lot of sloppy passes. We're giving the ball away cheaply. It isn't pretty. That's on me, or that's on the players. Yes, some individuals are off it right now, but we are hoping for better. It's just, honestly, I would be so much more sat here tonight going, do you know what? My manager gets it. He does see the problems. He is talking sense. He isn't being disillusioned to the reality of Villa right now. Because I'll go to that reality again. 2 points from 12, 0 goals scored, -4. Guys, thanks for all your support. Loving all the comments as well in the chat. I am reading them and trying to do the show as well. And I really love all your interactions. And as always, if you haven't, make sure to smash the like button. Here, this one. He says this every week. Every week. Every bloody week. This one. Where can I find my tab? There it is. I will be consistent the next weeks. Does that mean consistent as in, like, you're still going to not play the new players? That scares me. I'll be consistent next week. Well, what the hell has the first 4 weeks been then? Or the first 4 games? Inconsistent? I'll be consistent the next week. What does that mean? Consistently not using your subs. Consistently playing players on the bench. Consistently playing John McGinn right wing. The thing we have to improve, and the things we did today, like we needed, showing the commitment the players showed, and then try to be individually and collectively achieving our objective. Now, again, do you know what him and DV are very good at? Just saying words, just saying big words. You know when you get some people, who love to throw in. I'll give you 2 examples. Okay, Chris Eubank, Senior, and Russell Brand. Right? 2 people who, yes, they are intelligent, but what they love to do is throw words out that people have never heard before. Right? They throw these words. Sometimes when you hear them say, sometimes, yeah, sometimes where people just throw these long words in mid-sentence to make themselves sound even more articulate and clever to try and win an argument. And I'm looking at him going, what does that word mean? And telling like Heidi actually said a word the other day. I can't remember what her word was. He's at work at the moment, so she might be listening. She said a word, and it took me by surprise, and I was like, not mocking her for it, but I was like, nice fancy word. And basically, what you do is you throw big words in or lots of words to confuse someone or to make yourself sound clever. This is cobswab bollocks from Unai. The thing we have to, all right, I'm going to just read it without stopping and listen to how ridiculous this sounds. The thing we have to improve and the things we did today, like we needed, showing the commitment the players showed, and then try to be individually and collectively achieving our objective. What does that mean? Someone translate that. Funniest comment, translate that. Because that to me just sounds like I'm just going to say that we need to be better, and I'm going to make it sound really posh and achieving our objective, which we're now being hidden. What's our objective? Is it to qualify for Europe and win trophies, or is it that we're building again? But yeah, it just the thing we have to improve and the things we did today, like we needed, showing the commitment the players showed. So again, as Michael said, yeah, we want to talk about a bit of commitment, but yeah, it's commitment's good. And we were celebrating goal kicks yesterday. We were celebrating winning goal kicks, and we were celebrating them like we just scored a goal. Yeah, that's commitment. But what about the commitment of getting attacking bodies forward? What about the commitment of creating chances? What about the commitment of playing with some fluidity? That's the commitment I'd rather see. It's all well and good keeping that clean sheet, and I like that there's passion of us celebrating big tackles. But you do that when you've got 2 or 3 goals and you know having that cushion. Are we getting called fickle? Here we go. Fickle fans, this lot. So again, this is someone who I think is happy to be in a relegation fight with no goals, -4. Because if we say a bad word, if we can't say a bad word about Unai Emery now, I don't think we'll ever be able to. When the data and stats and the performance and the results are doing the speaking for itself. If you can't find yourself to say a bad word about Unai now, you never will. So you're going to be okay with us getting relegated because you won't say a bad word about Unai. That's how I feel about these type of people say fickle fans. Yes, we know he did a marvellous job for 2 seasons, as DV's pointed out, and it's been better in the last 10, 15 years. But we're talking about now. We're not living off 1982 when we won the European Cup. We're not living off, the last FA Cup win 30 years ago. We're not living off the Championship playoff final. We're living off what's this season, because guess what? This season, if it continues where we are and the trajectory that we're going, we're going to be relegated. That's the bottom line. If we're not scoring goals, if we're conceding goals, we're going to be relegated. It's okay to call out the manager just because he's got money in the bank. You can still call him out. I'm tired of fans who think it's bad that we should be grateful because of what he's done the last 2-3 years. Do you know what? Us qualifying for the Champions League and playing in it is irrelevant to today. It's irrelevant, and that's where I will fight and go tooth and nail. And that's why I will on this channel have this different voice. I'm not having fans say and live off Champions League glory of a quarter final. It doesn't impact us today. Right now, today, we're 19th, -4, 0 goals. It doesn't make me a worse fan than anyone else by saying I don't like that. And also the people who are saying that I won't criticise Unai Emery and basically is still loving him. It doesn't make you a bad fan either. But what I won't have is people telling me that I'm ungrateful, that I'm fickle, that I need to be more appreciative of what's happened because of what's happened the last 2-3 years. Do you know what I mean? I'm not having people tell me that. I'm not having people tell me that I need to calm down because of what Unai's done 2-3 seasons ago. I'm judging him off this year. Simple as that. Simple as that. Gareth Southgate's tenure, right? Gareth Southgate, England manager. Did people remember Gareth Southgate's last World Cup, or are we holding on to it? He got to a Euro final. Gareth Southgate was an idiot. He should have bowed out when it was good. He should have bowed out when he got us to a final, lost on penalties, and gone, do you know what? I've done as far as I can. Unfortunately, that whole era of Southgate getting us to a final was eradicated by the last major tournament crap that we saw. And that's what's happened to Gareth Southgate. No one holds on to what Gareth Southgate did in those 2 years, 2 other major tournaments. No, people look at Southgate's last tournament and go, it's an absolute embarrassment. Football, unfortunately, is recency bias. Football is all about recency. So Gareth Southgate shot himself in the foot by continuing as England manager when he could have bowed out on a high. Let's go on. We qualified for Champions League for the first time in Premier League Europe 3 seasons in a row. We've been hobbled by PSG. I keep it very fine. Judge him in November. Could be too late. I'm serious. November for me feels too late. I'm giving him till end of October max. But if we get dumped out of the cup by Brentford, if we lose to Sunderland away, if we don't look solid in the Europa League, then yeah. So there we go. Sorry, I went on a passionate rant there, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel. But it's not 4 games in, and this is the point that I'm going to come to in a minute. If anyone didn't see this coming last season, I will say this. I will say this right now. The signs were there last season, and this isn't now. Okay? You were wondering why there's lack of goals. I'll get the data up again. Only Ollie Watkins and Morgan Rogers had double figures GA in our team last season. Point number one. Point number two. Point number two. John Duran was our third top goal scorer, and he left in January. I think our fourth highest goal scorer was potentially Yuri Tillemans, and that would have been because of no. If you want to take out Asensio and Rashford, obviously they're not with us now. I think the next one was Yuri. That was alarming last season. That basically, without Morgan and Ollie, we were cooked. Guess what? Guess what? Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins are so out of form, so starved of service, and it's starting to show. The weight on Ollie and Morgan last season was there, and luckily they got a bit of help along the way. And do you know what people were saying in the summer to me when I was putting out these stats? Don't worry, we've got Donyell Malen. That's all I kept getting told. Don't worry, you got Donyell Malen. And guess what, people? And this isn't me sort of gloating right now because I don't like to say it because this is a bad thing. But guess what? I used to respond to people who kept telling me we've got Donyell Malen. I kept saying he's got to play first. And I was getting, of course he's going to play. Why wouldn't he play? Of course Unai Emery is going to use him. 4 games in, my point stood. I've had this feeling about Donyell Malen for ages. It didn't feel like it was an Unai signing. I think Unai Emery bought Donyell Malen on a panic and in a desperation. He left him out of the Champions League squad. He's shown that. But that's what I kept saying. This is where you need to take those claret and blue blinkers off and realise these problems were there last season. If it wasn't for Ollie Watkins and Morgan Rogers, we'd be looking at the same similar form of what we've got right now. Guess what? Ollie and Morgan are not performing. Guess what? Villa can't score. Who else is going to score our fucking goals right now? Certainly won't be Emi Buendia or John McGinn. Certainly can't be Donyell Malen because he's sat on the bench. Don't even mention Jadon Sancho because I think Unai Emery is going to give him a month to play until he features. Oh, what? Put on Harvey Elliott, shall we? Or guess on who we're guessing how many minutes this guy's going to get. Where are the goals coming from? Serious question. Talk to me, chat. Where are the goals coming from? Emery's 4 to 5 losses from sack, correct. The PSIs is, of course, by the club overspend on wages players who sit on the bench every week. Donyell Malen, 140k a week. Onana, 140k a week. Fun. If there's no ridiculous financial rule, only says big, our owners would spend big. But the rules are the rules. Whether we like them or not, we have to find a way around them. I can't wait to say what is any fit. Yeah, I know, Conrad. Who thinks he'll beat Brentford and send away? No. No. I heard Gibbon saying Watkins might feel dejected. What a load of piss. He's a pro sportsman. The way he's going, he'll be watching the World Cup. Exactly. World Cup, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Can think of the past would be great for yes, but we're in the present. Facts, Fozzie. Facts. What else we got? We are 4 games in. Why does that make us relegation fodder? Because we're in the relegation zone, and if we continue the way we're playing in 1982, nothing looks like it's going to change. So I'm going off the basis that I don't think anything's going to change. I don't think Emery's going to tweak his tactics. I don't think he's got his favourites. So I think we're going to continue on this tough form of trying to find goals. And as I've just said, where are the goals coming from? True. But next time, okay, good lad. Cheers, Villa boy. So finding some 20%. Just saying it how I feel. That's genuine. I'm not going to brush it up to fit. Basically, the more positive channels are going to do better, right? People who are positive and look at that are going to do better. But I can't speak positive on what I'm seeing right now. I've been close to falling asleep the last 4 games. True. Yeah, appreciate it, Ant. Appreciate it. Big up to everyone in the house as well. I really appreciate you guys. What do you expect to hope from the transfer window? Better than what we did. Is that our objective? Not get relegated. We're meant to be competing. If not, for bottom of the sheet. Oh, bloody hell. Thank God for Wolves, eh? Um, but yeah, so again, I haven't written this off, but something has to change. That's how I feel. Something has to change. But do you know what? I thought something would have changed. I thought something would have changed against Everton away. Really did. Yeah, the form. It's all on the form. Alan Formula fully agrees. Did we not win 8 out of 10 at the back end of last season, though? We scraped through the back end of last season. And even that, Ashley, my point here, Ashley, was that enough to get us in the Champions League? Did that win us a trophy? Did that win us a trophy? Did the stat win 8 out of 10 win us a trophy or get us in the Champions League? Rogers needs dropping on McGinn, play Elliott as a 10, guess on the left, simple as yeah, the fans can see it. It's been 18 months. Lone players saved us in Asensio and Rashford has said, yeah. Last team we actually cracked the signs of Rashford and Asensio saved us the lift. Facts. It started last season, yes, Josh. That's what I'm saying. When people come at me and go, "Oh my God, you're jumping the gun so early," no. This was last season. I want to get the stats of the goals, where the goals are coming from. I've got to find this thing. I've got to find this thing for you guys of the Aston Villa players, goals, and assists. I want it from last season. See if I can get last season stats. No point looking at 25-26 ones, because guess what? Here we go. 24-25. Okay. So yeah, this is crap, but here we go. This is a really crap screen, but I can't take too long to find it. Let's see if I can zoom for you guys. Okay, here we go, people. You want to see why this isn't just last season? You want to see why it's this season? Here's my evidence for you. Okay. Goal scorers, top goal scorers for Aston Villa in the Premier League last season. I'm going to say this question again. Where are the goals coming from? Ollie Watkins, 16 goals. Morgan Rogers, 8. John Durrani played 20 games for us, 7. And as I correctly said, Yuri Tillemans, if you take out John Duran, Yuri Tillemans, Onana, Barkley, Malen, and Asensio were all our joint 4th top goal scorers with, guess what, 3 goals. What's changed? How can you not see this Unai Emery problem right here, people? It's actually staring us in the face. It's actually staring us in the face. This is last season. This is look. Here's your evidence. If anyone tells you you're judging Unai Emery off last season, no, we were bailed out. How can that be? Marcus Rashford actually got 6 goals. John McGinn with 1 goal. Ramsey with 1 goal last season. We're actually telling me now who is contributing to those goals. If you take out, let's just put Asensio, say that as Harvey Elliott, and say Rashford is Sancho, right? Where are the goals coming from? Real talk, where are the goals coming from? That was last season. So this is where my judgment was formed in pre-season, going, I'm worried. Absolutely worried about the lack of goals for this Aston Villa side. And no wonder we're not scoring, people, because take out Watkins and Rogers, go, we're on Yuri. Well, Onana and Barkley aren't even available. Malen sits on the bench and essentially doesn't play for us. So there's your signs, people. And then next one. Assists. Oh, look, Morgan and Ollie again, carries assists. Yuri Tillman 7. The fact we're relying on fullbacks and Luca Dean 4 assists, McGinn 4 assists. You know, it's crazy bad assist numbers as well. It's terrible. There's the signs. So when anyone tries to get in my ear and say you're basing this off this season, you're basing it off 4 games, all that, I just go to that stat and go, no. Big up Alan Ford, my lord. I go, no. And that's what you need to do, guys. If anyone tries to push back on you, say, well, this was coming last season. So I'm not surprised we're not scoring goals if Ollie and Morgan are off it. Lewis Dobbin would save the day. I'm not, yeah, Barkley's numbers are decent. He never plays. Anana should have been shipped in the summer. 50 million waste, correct. And 140k a week, and actually, what would you have done different transfer window? And now the squad options we have. Well, look, we bought in attackers, haven't we? Gassond, Sancho, Elliot. So we strengthened in attack, right? Or have we just gone like for like with Ramsey and Bailey? Personally, for me, in the transfer window, I would have been concentrating on getting a right back in, 100%, and attacking right back as well. That's where I would have put one energy of focus in. I would have added a number 9. I can't believe we haven't signed another 9. Donyell Malen having to come in and be the replacement 9. I can't believe we haven't signed a proper 9. That's 2 positions that are glaringly obvious for me. And we didn't address either. That's weird, isn't it? That's weird that we never addressed 2 of the most obvious positions. Malen's had 25 minutes total. It's just disgusting. But yeah, we at the end of the day, you know, the last season, end of season form, it looks good on paper. If you actually watch the games, you skate through pretty much all the games. Facts, eye test. So this is where I'll come to now, right? Use your eyes. So, Fozzy FC, I love this because on paper, we got through some games and we didn't play well. And sometimes that's a sign of a good team. But it also shows signs of a team that if it goes wrong and you're playing like that, you're going to find it hard. Eye test suggests to me Villa weren't great the last 10 games, but we got through. And we pulled off some blinding results somehow, but we weren't great. We dug deep, we battled. And then that Man United game happened last game of the season. Guess what? We didn't play great and it cost us. First 4 games of the season, what are your eyes telling you? Trust your eyes. What are your eyes telling you? What are your eyes telling you when you've watched the last 4 Aston Villa games? I know what my eyes are telling me. Slow, turgid, lack of attacking creativity, can't get bodies forward to support Ollie Watkins, don't understand how we're scoring apart from a set piece, maybe. Look really stale in attack. My eyes are telling me that that 0 goals is actually something that looks very reminiscent of how we're playing right now. Those stats are adding up to my eyes. All right. Let's go to Liverpool in the Premier League. Liverpool, 12 from 12. Liverpool have not played well. Eyes will tell you that. The table will tell you that Liverpool have been exceptional this season. The table will tell you that Liverpool have been exceptional. 12 from 12. What a great start. But if you watch it with your eyes, you know Liverpool haven't even got out of second or third gear. But do you know what? With a team like that and the players they have and the manager they have, they're going to be okay. Or you might look at Liverpool and we might come back in a month and go, do you know what? You can't keep getting away with late winners. Liverpool are going to get found out soon and caught up. Depends how you see it. Depends what your eyes are saying when you look at Liverpool. I watched Manchester City against Man United today, parts of that game. My eyes are telling me that Man City, they're playing to Haaland's strengths. And my eyes are telling me that Man United are crap. That's what my eyes are telling me. So yeah, eye test is a big one. What are your eyes telling you when you watch Villa? We're good at wasting money. Yeah, we are. We shouldn't have loaned out Bailey. What we need was to strengthen the back line. Correct, Ray. Big up to my guy, Alan Ford, my lord, Alan Ford. Oh, Lord, Alan Ford. Absolutely incredible. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate that. It's a teardrops again. Appreciate Alan. And I really do. And thank you so much. So yeah, I'm just catching up with some of your comments. So yeah, sorry guys. Right, next. I think it sounds good, just not being used yet. Missed, missed the first 20. What's the recap? Same old shit, Roy. Malen should leave, correct. Malen may as well go, otherwise he'll be Dendonkered. Yeah, it's true. Uh, I've heard Malen has requested a bucket and sponge and get more minutes on the pitch. I think we need to switch to 4-3-3. Yeah. Malen's a top international player. Ditto the other signs. Yeah. Ebenezer scored a world-class goal for Villa today against Chelsea. Woman in your head, Changeman. Big up to you. I haven't seen the goal. I'll be honest. I was watched a little bit of the Pompey Southampton game. Probably only 10 minutes of that, and I saw the zero of the Liverpool game, and then I saw the last bit of Man United's game. That's all I've managed to catch today in football. But there we go. Well, the worst team playing in the UK is true. Big up to AV as well in the house. But thank you for the super chat in your head, Change Man. Appreciate it. Legend. A legend. Nice name as well. Big up the Change Man. I said Watkins with Tammy Abraham 2.0. You'll laugh, but truthfully, you can argue about service. But Duran never got any, but managed to bang a magical one, change the game. Duran didn't have any, but yeah, he was a good finisher. Unai has his favourites. Rodgers and McGinn. Rodgers could have one leg stick. The fact Rodgers didn't get subbed off is crazy. Josh, what if we don't score in the next 5 games? What happens to Emery? If he keeps his... Honestly, if we went another 5 games without scoring, any person who actually thinks that this guy is able to keep his job is nuts. You can't stay in the job if you had five games with no more goals. Oh, imagine that. A fake horse to save the day. That's the way we're going. We'll also probably start managing next week and try for noon again. Who's the next manager in line in the betting? Yeah. Is there even odds, or have the bookies kept Unai in the job? But what I am going to do, if this continues, I am going to look at I'm going to look at Unai Emery's last season at Arsenal. I want to see. Someone told me that he started playing people out of position in his 3rd season at Arsenal. He's playing, what's his name? Lucas Torreira is like a number 10, who's like a CDM. So, yeah, things like that we'll be keeping an eye out on. I want to see these patterns. But ultimately, he's got a few days now to turn things around, get back to winning ways, and get fans on a cup hype, basically, is what I'll call it. Get him on a cup hype. We have to beat Brentford in the cup. We owe Brentford. They're nothing special. They're nothing special. Call me negative, but I'm giving you 5 more games and you don't change, get results. Listen, it's not negative to think that, Fozzie. I'm with you. My clock for Unai is yeah. The next couple of games is going to be it for me. If we end up losing to Sunderland and we're 2 from 15, that's it for me. You can't lose to a relegation side, a newly promoted side, when it is becoming a must-win game. I just don't know what the owners are going to do. I think Unai is very well protected in the club. That's all I'm going to say. I think Unai is very well protected at the club. But there we go. People, thank you for tuning in. I know we could talk and talk. I'm going to bow out of here. I think I've exhausted my list of thoughts and comments. But yeah, appreciate everyone who's interacted. Look, dividing opinions as always. And you know, that's what we're here to do. We're not all going to agree. Yeah, he will sit deep and do that. We know that. Our owners invested heavily for Unai's men, but they would leave with him if he's actually. Yeah, true. Payout would be a big payout. But yeah, I appreciate it. He played Rose tonight, even lost one of his legs. It's true. But yeah, we're going to bow out of here. I appreciate Alan Ford and In Your Head Change Man for the donations. And appreciate everyone who's in the house tonight. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for liking the stream. Thanks for supporting. All that good stuff. You guys have been absolutely incredible. As always, we'll be back for more build up. We'll have a look at it's Monday tomorrow, isn't it? We're playing Tuesday night. We'll have a look at what team probably. Let's try and design our team on what we think Unai will do with the Brentford game and all that good stuff. People, thanks for your support. Keep that notification bell on so you never miss an upload. And we'll be back for more. Take care, enjoy, and thank you for the support. And yeah, if you feel like you're in the minority right now, that's fine. Don't stand your ground for what you believe in. That's what I'm going to say. Take care, people. I'm out of here. Ta-da.